morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is episode 642 in a rainy Pennsylvania. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the show. It's a soggy morning here in Western PA. I'd like to say to everybody this morning, welcome back.
Yeah, it is a gloomy day in Pittsburgh, but it's that feels like perfect fall football weather. A little bit of rain, a little bit of gloom. You're in the elements. It's the perfect weather for a Steelers-Ravens matchup. I don't want sunny. I don't want bright, clear skies.
Nobody really
I
has
want a little doom and gloom.
I mean, maybe with the exception of Buffalo and Cleveland, I think we have the best football weather in the country. I think we have better weather than they do. But when you're thinking about football weather, I think what it's like in Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Buffalo, snow, rain, elements, wind.
Yeah,
all the good stuff.
But we also have those nice crisp days where it's nice 70 and sunny, to where the guys aren't afraid to hit because it's not going to hurt them. But then, like you said, by the time winter comes, and that's what separates the men from the boys in the NFL, baby. If you can play football in the elements, if you can play AFC North ball, NFC North ball out in the elements, you're a real football player. And we saw what happened to Miami last year when they tried and go and play in the elements. They folded.
Yeah, man. Before we get into football, of course, this is Ravens week, guys. We have a lot of things to go over today. Fully packed show. I do want to start by saying, did anybody see these billboards around town, these abandoned ship, Bob sell the team, Bob nutting billboards? I love it.
I love it.
I guess in different locations all around the town, all around the city, there's these abandoned, it says abandoned ship Bob sell the team. I don't know. That's kind of, I don't know. If you want to make something happen, I guess you have to be proactive, and obviously it's going to come down to him to decide whether he wants to do it or he wants to keep it or whatever. But once public consensus, people, you realize everybody hates you, or you know what I mean. I think that plays a role, but I just think this guy's too dumb. I think that Bob Nutting is just too dumb, and he's not dumb. He's just stupid. And you remember the face that he made whenever that kid came up to him and it had pulled that shirt open and it said "sell the team." And he just stood there with that stupid smile. Like that, he's just dumb. I don't know what it is, what that's called, but I don't think he's going to sell the team. But again, I find it entertaining, and I find it good that these billboards are popping up all around Pittsburgh again. Abandoned ship Bob, sell the team.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to sell the team. It's a moneymaker for him. Yeah, he has no incentive to sell the team, but
you know what? People just have to stop giving him their money. Because that's the only language Bob Nutting understands is money. And if you stop going to the game and get down to what they're putting in the seats down in Miami, maybe, just maybe, then he might do it then. And I think that's what it's going to have to come to. Otherwise, again, he's just going to sit there and collect his money, laugh, collect his money, laugh, collect his money, and laugh. So the billboards are a good start.
But again, they make me laugh.
But ultimately, I think you have to stop going. You have to stop going. You got to stop going. I know how great time you must have going to watch this terrible baseball team, but you got to stop going. If you want it to get better, you have to stop going. It's not the Revolutionary. It's not the Civil War, for crying out loud. It's baseball. Just don't go.
You just don't go. It's not that hard. It's not that what's going to happen with this team. They'll have a few good months, and then it will all collapse.
Guys, we got a lot of good stuff today. This is Ravens Week. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Again, 642. This is episode 642 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. Good morning. Good morning. Big news this morning, guys. Some big news. I don't know if it's big news, but big enough. New injury onto the list of already injured Steelers. Van Jefferson injures his quad yesterday. Does not practice. Again, this wide receiver 2 pickup just
Huge.
might be a little bit more important, just as important as it is on the defensive side of the ball. When we lost Alex Highsmith last week, Preston Smith to take his place. Van Jefferson goes down yesterday with a quad. Hey, what's up, Phil? It's still good morning, my man. And there's no word update on him as of right now. So Van Jefferson may not be available come Sunday, but again, he's not the number 2 receiver. So
exactly.
And you know the other thing that Mike, the other thing that's bad about this though is Calvin Austin's head.
Yeah,
He got,
but he's not
he
shown
got
up
hit in
on
the
the
head
injury
last week and
report.
had.
So.
But those are two, you know what I mean? That's 3 and 4 on the list.
Yeah.
You got a quad by Van Jefferson yesterday, and then you have the head with Calvin Austin, and you just don't know the head injuries. You know what I mean? He might think he's fine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then wake up a day like, oh, there's something there.
Or just take a hit on the field Sunday, and it might make you more dizzy than it usually does, and that's all it takes. So again, Van Jefferson, he did get hurt yesterday at practice. He hurt his quadricep. There's no word on moving forward, any scoop on him at the moment, but he did not practice with his quad. Van Jefferson injured yesterday. Some other interesting stuff, Mike, about this game up against the Ravens. Let me reach back just a second. Did anybody know this? Did anybody know that Broderick Jones was one of the only 6 people that gave up 0 pressures last week at his position?
That shocked me. That shocked me.
35 pass snaps. Broderick Jones gave up 0 pressures. That's got to be encouraging, Mike.
That is encouraging. That bye week. Like someone's report said, hey, maybe he finally had a chance to get healthy. You remember in training camp that elbow injury that was a nagging thing, and then he was able to get healthy and just take your mind off of work for a week. And maybe that's just what sometimes you need. You know how it is when you're doing your job, you start to struggle. You get some time off. Next thing you know, you come back and like things are better. You're doing your job better. That's going to carry you throughout to your next vacation. Hopefully, the next vacation is in February after the Super Bowl. And Broderick was able to clear his mind, get his body healthy, and now he's up, ready to go for second half. This was encouraging because the team doesn't lie on Broderick Jones. There's evidence there. He can be a dominant right tackle in the NFL. And if he starts to get it together, right now is the time to start to get it together. And this is the time last year when he started. Week 9, week 10. So hell yeah, let's go.
Hey, good morning, John on the board. How you doing today, my friend?
The Polish maid. The Polish maid.
Polish maid.
It must be nice. You got Terry Bongshot and a Polish maid.
He has it made out there in Vegas.
He's living the high life, man. Emphasis on the high.
Yes. That's what it's all about, man. He has it figured out.
It is. He does. He should be my life coach. We're gonna have to link up, and he's gonna have to help me through life.
All right, guys. A lot of people have been talking about this. A lot of people have been talking about. Okay, let me start by this. There is a quote this week by Ravens wide receiver Rashad Bateman saying that the Steelers. Okay, so we went 7-1 in the last 8 games against the Ravens. He comes out and makes a statement this week. Bateman says, quote, "It shouldn't have happened. We lost the ones that we should have won." Well, shit, if that was the case, we'd be 8-0 in the Super Bowl.
Coulda, woulda.
Right? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. What a dumb thing. And let me tell you something. Here's something for Rashad Bateman. I have some stuff for you that I think you're going to like. Not only the 7 of 8, but they did win 10 of their last 14 against Baltimore, for starters. For 2, let me give you the Steelers-Ravens by decade. When the team came around, the Ravens came around in 1990s. In 1996, the Steelers were 6-2 against the Ravens in the 90s. In the 2000s, from 2000 to 2010, the Steelers were 13-9 against the Ravens. Only one decade, the 2010s, the Ravens had more. They went 13-9 against us. In the 2020s, the Steelers are 7-1 against the Ravens. All-time head-to-head in the playoffs, 3-1 the Steelers. And again, the Steelers have won 10 of the last 14. I think that sounds a lot better when people say 7 of the last 8, which sounds amazing. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
When you say 10 of the last 14,
That's even better.
because it takes it back even further.
Yeah, I know. Like a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, in the last matchup, the receivers dropped a lot of balls." Well, yeah, you should have caught them, and then you should have found a way to win those games. You see that with a lot of teams that will struggle, and they find ways to win, and they did not. And you lost to Kenny Pickett. You lost to Mitch Trubisky. Get the f out of here. Now,
And the thing about that stupid that stupid yeah, come on. What's the guy's Tyler Huntley? Huntley's not with them
yeah,
anymore. What a great backup he was. They went on and on. They even gave him the All Pro nod the one year as
yeah.
a reliever, a
He
replacement
gave
guy.
us more trouble than
But
Lamar.
he was terrible. This guy's terrible. Lamar, I'm sorry, not Lamar, but Tyler Huntley. I think we beat him every time we played him. And guys, if you believe that Lamar is going to come and save the day, he played 6 games against the Steelers, guys. Okay, in his career, he's ducked out about most of them because for whatever reason he always seems to be injured when they play us. Let me give you a little bit of reminder of how Lamar Jackson plays against the Steelers. In those 6 games, guys, 6 games. Keep that in mind. Keep it right in the right in the foremost part of your
Yes.
brain. In 6 games against the Steelers, he has 7 fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
He has 7 interceptions. He has 66.8 passer rating. He was sacked 20 times. He has 0 rushing touchdowns, a 59.1% completion percentage, and only four touchdowns combined altogether. That would all be through the air. Again, 6 games. Lamar Jackson faceless. No wonder he's always injured when he plays us now. 6 games, 7 fumbles, 7 interceptions.
Yeah, he can't compete against the Steelers. It's funny. I love it. I don't know why. Um, I don't know why he crumbles against us, but I love the way they do it. Arthur Millette seems to say, yeah,
Sacked 20
yeah.
times.
Arthur Millette's like, oh well, they just like to blitz one guy at the gap, and we got that figured out here now in Baltimore. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you guys haven't been able to figure it out in 14 freaking games. And like Derby said, it was Huntley gave us a bigger scare than Lamar Jackson ever did. I don't see a big
Sacked
game.
20
Yeah,
times.
20 times.
Sacked
And
20
this guy
times.
doesn't get sacked.
7 fumbles, 7 interceptions. I just want to say that one more time, just so everyone understands the pure dominance. 7 fumbles, 7 interceptions, sacked 20 times, no rushing touchdowns in 6 games against the Steelers, guys. So that's that's what we're up against. And also, I also want to talk about the teams that the Ravens lost to this year. They lost to the Browns.
They did.
People forget that they lost to the Browns. They lost to the Raiders. And then, of course, the opening game against the Chiefs. I'm not going to count that one just because. But let's look at the 2 games that they lost. The Browns have 2 wins. The Raiders have 2 wins. At least when you look at our opponents, they have a combined 7 wins. I mean, it's not anything to write home about. Our losses, I'm sorry. But when we played the Colts and lost, and then when we played Dallas and lost, at least these teams have a combined 7 wins. Guys, the Raiders and the Browns, who both beat the Ravens, have a combined total of 4 wins altogether, 2 apiece. This Ravens team, they are good, don't get me wrong, but they're totally beatable. The defense ain't what they were. We outmatched them in special teams. I think the only edge that they have. You know what, guys? I apologize. It might be the weather here. If things do sound broken up or anything, we are in the middle of a storm. So I apologize. I hope you can hear everything well. But guys, when it comes down to it, yes, I think their offense is better. They have, but again, our offense is better than what it was, and I think that our offense putting up the points that it's putting up now certainly is going to make this a good game. But you got to remember, guys, we didn't have a quarterback the last few years we played them. We've had Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett and Mason and so on and so on, and we still managed to beat this team 7 out of 8 times. So, guys, one more time. I think we have a really good chance of beating this Baltimore Ravens team, guys. I really do. I know I apologize. I really do. I really apologize. As soon as I seen this morning that it was raining and stormy, I thought we're gonna have issues. But can you hear me, Mike? What are you doing?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just
I
threw
can
on
hear you.
the channel real quick. Coming through on their end, you do sound garbled. I don't know why. Coming through on our end, you sound clear. So I don't know what's going on right there.
Hmm. So again, we do
Yeah.
apologize, guys. I really do. We're gonna put up big numbers with Pickens and Big Mike.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The rate of big plays that the Baltimore Ravens defense give up is off the charts. Like they're the worst at giving up big plays in the run game and the pass game. So yeah, it's going to be a struggle. They're lucky their offense is scoring a lot of points, and teams aren't running a lot on them. They're not giving up a lot of rushing yards, but when they do rush on them, it is off the amount of yardage that people are getting on their big runs are explosives. So yeah, look for us to have a good rushing game against them because teams aren't running on them because you can throw the ball on them. So why run we if you can just get chunk yardage through the air? I think we're actually a nice balance attack from us. And look for Pickens and like Mark Malone said, Pickens and Mike Williams to have monster games.
I really feel that
That's what I'm
I mean, pound
anticipating.
for pound, player for player, I think we have a better team than these guys. I really do. You just have these really big names at the top of their list with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson, but I feel that we have a better team overall. Our defense is one of the one of the best defenses in the league. Our special teams, I think, is the best in the league. Oh, what's that sound?
Oh no.
I didn't hear it. That might have been your mic coming through. Check to see if the microphone's connected
Well, it sounds
on
like a
your
car is going by
with
or
me.
something. It just sounded like it was temporary.
Oh,
It was like a car going by or
I
something. Um,
I didn't hear nothing.
all right, but it was really loud, is what I'm saying. Um, I know.
I
Again, I
I
apologize,
don't know what's going
guys.
on.
This should be on Mike's end. He should be able to mess with
I
something and
can't hear
fix it.
it.
But if it's
No,
but
there's
if it's
nothing I
this,
can do.
well, what? Listen. Let me talk, would you? What I'm saying is, I think it's the storm. If it was something that could be fixed, it should be able to be fixed on Mike's end. But
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying is, the storm is the problem. Before you freak out, Mike, for no reason.
Oh, you said Mike can fix it. I'm like, whoa, don't put
No,
that
because you
evil on
don't
me,
listen.
Ricky
You
Bobby.
don't listen. You have to listen.
No, yeah, I'm ready to fight, man. I was all
I
sluggish
said you have
before
to
the
listen.
show.
Mike goes,
Now
no,
I'm
no,
amped
I'm
up.
not going to listen to
I'm
nobody.
not gonna listen. No, F you. Everyone thinks they're gonna wig out and flip out, man.
Here's something
Yes,
interesting,
it is
guys.
Derpy's fault. It is
Amen.
Here's
Derpy's fault.
something interesting. Sunday, the game against the Commanders, that was the first game that the Steelers won without kicking a field goal since Week 16 of 2020.
Really?
We won that game on last Sunday against Washington. That was the first game we won without kicking a field goal since Week 16 of 2020 when we defeated the Colts 28 to 24.
That's
Wow.
my God.
That's a
Yeah,
stat.
Boz had a nice day off. Well deserved for Boz, and that's a good sign, man. That's a sign this offense is coming together, and you don't have to rely on Boswell to kick 17 field goals a game to win. So that's huge, man, huge, and he can rest his leg down the stretch, man. I like it.
What a thing to have, having one of the best special teams in the league and not even needing to use it because you're playing so well.
Mm-hmm.
So, when we do need it, we're going to be in good shape. We have good coverage. We have good, I mean, how many punts and field goals we blocked this year? We have a Calvin Austin return for a touchdown. Um, and again, we didn't even need special teams last week. As a matter of fact, when we had special teams, it actually kind of backfired on us, and we tried faking and all that stuff. But maybe
Yeah.
this week coming up, we could come back around and take advantage of having a really good special teams. Um, guys, Ravens, it's the Ravens.
The crab birds.
I can't even believe Ravens week. I can't
It's
believe it.
it's weird that but the important thing though of the show is the belch still came through. That's the only thing that matters right now.
See, that's what I was
Not
thinking.
the news, not the info, not the opinions. The belch. I love it. But no, yeah, having the special teams unit is huge, and it's not just like the return game, or setting up like the trick plays or getting the blocks. It's limiting the amount of yardage the other teams are getting on their punt returns. The gunners are getting down there so fast, it caused a turnover. And if the gunners aren't getting there, if they get through that first wave, that second wave is usually right there too to stop a punt return. It's very few. I think maybe once or twice someone had a decent return against us. It's a breath of fresh air. You don't have to worry about field position. Carlos Waitman, who might be the pickup of the offseason. We were talking like, you know, we're going to be screwed now. We lost Cam. Cam Johnson went down. Get Carlos Waitman. He's up there for me with the additions of a Patrick Queen, a Deshaun Elliott, and hopefully, Preston Smith and Mike Williams. Those signings might be key for the way. I'm sorry, John's comment got me. Ryan has the JFK Junior voice going. RFK Junior voice.
Like has the worst attention ever.
Sorry.
Mid sentence, it'll go.
I know. I'm like a squirrel, but no.
You're like a squirrel with no nuts. What you are.
I know, man.
I lost. Go ahead.
I lost them in the divorce, but no, it's Carlos Waitman. For me, he is up there with that Deshaun Elliott, Patrick Queen type free agent signing. Omar Khan continues to impress, and then Danny Smith continues to impress on that special teams. I love it.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
I know we're both fired up today, but it's a good fired up. It's a positive fired up. We're battling through, baby. Tech issues. We're just going head on.
I know this is what's pissing me off with this.
I know, and when I go to listen through playback, I'm going to want to kill myself. But oh well.
Well, yeah. I just mean this tech is crazy today. I apologize once again, guys.
Killing us.
What therapy?
I was just gonna say, is this a statement game?
Oh, yeah, it's a huge statement game. This is the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, because people are saying, the Steelers aren't real contenders until they beat the Ravens. How about the Ravens aren't real contenders until they beat the Steelers? Because like Ryan said, it's not just, 7 of the last 8 we won. It's like, what, 13
10 of the last 14.
10 of the last 14. This should be a game that the Ravens, they should be looking as a must-win. The national media should be talking about how the Ravens need to win this more than the Steelers. Yeah, they may have won the division the past couple of years, but now Pittsburgh's on the rise, and we've owned them the last 14 games.
The Bengals, they also won the division. Nobody gives Listen, you can't beat us. You can't win a Super Bowl. What exactly are the Ravens doing that makes them so great? Let me just take one more look here. Again, the last 6 games, the 6 games that Lamar Jackson grew enough balls to play the Steelers, 7 fumbles, 7 interceptions, sacked 20 times, no rushing touchdowns. Guys, I don't fear this team. If we lose to these guys, you know what? I have no fear because I think we'll beat them the next time around. I don't fear the Ravens. A lot of teams fear the Ravens. I don't fear the Ravens. And even on these charts, Mike, we have the new power polls.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What they're called? Power polls. They came out this week. Let me give me a moment just to pull them up because they have us everywhere between 3 and 6 on the power polls for the week.
Yeah.
And I just want to pull up where I can see that. Hey, Jen, how you doing this morning? Hey, if I could ever get out of this screen. What's going on with our tech today? It's driving me nuts.
I don't know, dude. It has to be the crappy weather here in Western PA.
Jeez, man.
I blame the Harbaughs. They brought down the bad juju on us. But like Steeler Freaks saying Roberts versus Henry, Queen versus Jackson. That's how I would do it. For me, Elaine Roberts does not come off the field until Derrick Henry comes off the field.
All right, here's what I'm looking for, Mike.
The whole time. Yeah.
There we go.
Here is the power poll. Here's one of them. There's a couple of them, but this one I'm going to read right now has the Chiefs number 1, the Lions number 2, the Bills number 3, the Ravens number 4, and the Steelers number 5. How is a team that's behind us in the division? How is a team that's behind us overall? How is a team that its quarterback has 7 fumbles and 7 interceptions in his 6 games against us? Again, what is this team doing? What are they doing every year? They're not beating us. They're not winning the Super Bowl.
No.
You throw a couple guys on, all of a sudden this team is again. It's crazy to me. The Ravens.
Yeah.
I don't fear these guys at all.
I don't. As the week goes on, the more and more I think about it, the more and more I'm looking at the analytics and the stats. this is a flawed football team, the Ravens. They got injury problems. Their star safety, Kyle Hamilton, he hasn't practiced all week. He was out there in sweats, walking around, stretching. So you remove him from the deep part of their field. Okay, you just lost a huge weapon. And guess where we like to attack? The deep part of the field. Their defense is not that Ravens defense of lore of yesteryear. This is a very beatable team, and once if you can stop one part of their offense, make them one-dimensional, you can beat them. So everything has to work for them on offense. The passing game has to work to set the run game. The run game has to work to set the passing game. You take one away, that team is toast. They're they have a big playability on offense, but they just don't scare me at all. At all. Like you said, the Browns beat them.
Exactly.
The Raiders beat them. And that was even the Raiders were still dysfunctional early in the season.
And the Browns, Mike, was only like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, with Jameis Winston.
This wasn't even, it was like it was the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
You don't have your stuff together. This was like 2 weeks ago. The Browns just beat them. Again, a combined win, 4 wins combined for the Raiders and Browns on the season. Yet they both managed to beat the Ravens. Guys, at least again, Colts and the Cowboys, they had at least a couple more wins. And the Cowboys were a more respectable loss before they lost their quarterback.
Yeah, before everyone fell apart, yeah.
So that's one power ranking, has us at number 5, right behind Baltimore. The very next one I'm looking at by Fox NFL has us at number 3. This one is actually pretty good. It has the Kansas City Chiefs at 1, Detroit number 2, us number 3, Buffalo 4, Minnesota 5, Baltimore 6, then Philly, Washington, Chargers, and then the Cardinals at number 10, surprisingly. But so we're on the right end that we're supposed to be on, and for a team that really didn't know what to expect, guys. But, Mike, I got to say, after we made our pickups in the offseason, people were feeling optimistic, right? People were saying, we're going to have a good season. We brought in Russell Wilson. We brought in Justin Fields. Oh, see, what's that? Why is that loud? See, now I hear that again.
Is my stuff all jacked up?
Now you're real loud.
I'm loud? How about now?
No,
Sorry,
that sounds
guys.
better.
Yeah. It might be, I was picking something up off my desk and it rattled it a little bit. That could be it.
But Russell Wilson, guys, coming through in a big way. 3 games he's played this year, we've scored 30.3 points per game. 30.3 points per game. We've gained 382.3 yards per game. Russell has 8.7 yards per pass attempt. Since he's been starting, guys, we've had 20.7 first downs per game. 20.7. And then also 3.3 touchdowns per game the Steelers have been getting since Russell Wilson has been starting over the past 3 games. So, I mean, this is what you hope for during the offseason, Mike. The thing that it was actually going to come true and come into fruition, and we would be sitting here at 7-2, looking down the final stretch where we are, feeling optimistic. This is as good as it could possibly be.
Oh, without a doubt. And you were saying, it's about 3 touchdowns a game since Russ came in. That's about Arthur Smith's average as an offensive coordinator when he was down in KC. You're scoring about 3 touchdowns a game. He added some field goals. A top 10, top 5 offense is what he ran. And you look at the past couple of weeks, that's where the Steelers have been, a top 5 offensive scoring output. So, my God, if Russ started healthy all year long, might we be up there with Kansas City as one of the undefeated? Might we be talked about as one of the favorites to go to the Super Bowl? Would this be the game where it's, the Ravens have to prove themselves against the juggernaut that is the Steelers? And if this defense can just shore up that running game a little bit, we're a juggernaut. And that offense, man, with Russ in there cooking, Mike Williams hopefully will be a much bigger role in the offense this week, and I think he will. He only had a few days practice last week. Now he had the full week. I'm expecting big things, man, because that Ravens secondary is trash.
These are the Steelers' numbers for the season, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the Steelers' numbers since Wilson became quarterback. These are the Steelers' numbers for the season: 23.9 points per
Yeah.
game, which is
Yep, I'm
12
looking at that now.
overall.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's what I'm looking at right now. Yeah,
Okay.
just pulled it
So
up.
23.9 points per game is what they're at. That's 12 overall. Again, since Russ been in there, with Russ in there, it's 30.3 points per game.
And
Oh, yeah.
that's sixth in the league. Sixth in the league since Russ took over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Steelers' yards per game, 326.3 overall. That's 18 overall. But when Russ has been in there, it's been 382.3 yards per game. So, Fields was doing good, and he was playing well. But we're where we should be. This is where we want. You want your, Russell in there doing what he's doing, and then you have Fields as your backup. This is best case scenario in the league, Mike. Does anybody have a good as backup quarterback as the Pittsburgh Steelers have at this time? I don't think they do.
No, going off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone that has a better a better setup at quarterback than we do. And like you said, then you have Kyle Allen, your typical backup quarterback, as your third string quarterback. So my God, it sets up perfectly too. And then, like you said, if Russ goes down, Justin can get in there and move the ball. He's not as effective as a passer as Russ is, but he adds that dynamic with his legs that teams all of a sudden have to change for. And but the way the offense has been playing, man, with the run game opening up, I think now Fields in there, he'd be able to pass a lot better than he was earlier this year. I don't think he'd be putting up the numbers Russ is, like touchdown wise, and making those deep, consistent moon balls, but I think he would add a different element to the passing game, a different type of vertical threat. So this offense, dude, it's one of the better ones in the league. Like I said, sixth overall and only getting better. And that should be the scary part for the league. And the defense is getting better too per game as wise too. It looked like we were improving.
Let me tell you, Jen, I want to apologize to Jen because the other day I wasn't getting what you were saying. Mike changed his pick last weekend, and I kind of argued that on Monday or Tuesday, and I apologized to Jen.
Just to Jen,
Well,
not me.
well,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah,
you're the one changing your score. Who does that? Who is?
I do. Because I forget what I picked 2 minutes after I picked
shows.
it, bro.
It's all the same entity. You were on the
I
same
know,
show,
right?
basically.
I know.
And you gave two different predictions, and that's what caused the problem. So I want to apologize to Jen for Mike and his behavior, because who does that? But anyway, I apologize, Jen. You were right. I just wasn't getting what you were saying on the pregame show over the weekend. Mike had a different score, and that's what you were referred to. So you are 100% right. I went back and I checked, and not because I didn't believe you. It was because I know Mike's a bit of a dunce, so I wanted to double check things. But
I can't even argue that I am a bit of a dunce,
So I just do. I want to apologize to Jen.
There you go.
Nope. All right, no problem.
We finally found someone who appreciates Ryan. Oh, look, I even throw it up on the board for you.
John says Ravens owe 32 points per game, giving up 24 points per game. Steelers offense 24 points per game, with D giving up 16 points per game. Wilson minus Fields at 30 points makes a difference. Absolutely, man. Here's something, guys. Also, the Steelers, let's see, since, what do you got them at? Yeah, 16.2 points a game is what they're giving up. And then overall yards per game, they're giving up 302.7 yards. Guys, any way you slice it, again, we're talking a lot of numbers, but at the end of the day, when the Ravens and Steelers play football, throw everything out the window. Throw numbers, throw
records out the window, everything
records,
out.
places, because it's, you know what kind of game it's going to be. Here's one for you guys. Mike Tomlin on Deontay Johnson at the press conference yesterday. I think you'll like this. When asked about Deontay Johnson, Mike Tomlin says he's not on a lot of their video. They've got more significant pieces with larger roles that are occupying my attention right now, which is true. And I just think that it's funny because it's like, DJ, who's this guy?
Yeah, but I like how like a lot of people have been truncating that last part of the quote. Right now, occupy my mind right now. People are making it sound like he doesn't even think about him. They know what Deontay can do when Deontay's mind is right. So you have to prepare for him. But right now, like you said, though, I'm more worried about Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers, and Rashard Bateman before Deontay Johnson.
It's going to be a real challenge. It's good. You know what?
Mhm.
And for us to be a number one defense and have the defense that we have, you know what? Who better again? And also us being the Steelers, who's better to face this offense? It should be a great game. It should be a lot of hard hitting. It's hard to not go back and watch. I mean, I've seen a bunch of stuff pop up this week. Just classic Ravens and Steelers moments.
Mhm.
I'm getting sucked in, guys. So we only have a few days. Yeah, go ahead, man.
I was gonna say, how can you not get sucked into the Steelers Ravens week? Anytime you see any video between the two teams, how can you not? They play football the way it's supposed to be played.
Who talked about the hit on Bart Scott the other day on the show? Somebody talked about Bart Scott, that hit by Hines Ward.
The block on Hines Ward put on him. Yeah, it might have been you. No, Finch. Was it Finch?
It was Finch.
It could have been Finch. I can't remember.
I've seen that since, and I thought, oh my god, he clubbed him.
Yeah, didn't he knocked Ed Reed out of a game too? The same way he blocked someone. I swear he cleaned Ed Reed's clock too. And the thing about these games, man, they're hard hitting games, but they never felt dirty. Like when you played the Bengals. The Bengals were dirty games. The Bengals were a dirty team. When Steelers Ravens get there, they'll toe the line. But it's nothing like they're going out of their way to try and hurt people. It's just, we're going to hit you as hard as we can. If you get hurt, you get hurt.
And a lot of times, people consider the Steelers dirty, and they're not dirty. They're very physical.
Yeah.
The tackle for the Redskins the other day came out and said, he goes, the linebackers for the Steelers, they play dirty.
Oh, yeah, he was complaining about Patrick Queen. Like, well, he tried to hurt me. Like, dude, you held him whole play. You held him the whole play, and then he took you to the ground. Did you want to cry?
If somebody's painting your nails and he tries to hurt you, that's a problem. You're playing football. If a guy tries to hurt you, shut the F up. Get back to the huddle and play football. I'm tired of this.
Yeah, the AFC North, they play to the echo of that last echo of the whistle.
He tried to hurt me.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched a game of this sport that you make $1 million to play in?
Yeah. No, you held him. You started knocking to the ground, and he hip tossed you like a little bitch. Deal with it.
They're dirty. I know another guy.
Right? The Redskins are dirty little whiners.
I was talking, and they're gonna, yeah, exactly. I was talking to this other guy who's a Bills fan a way back, and he said everybody knows that the Steelers are dirty. They're not dirty. They play physical. Just because your team doesn't play like men, doesn't mean we're dirty.
Yeah, it's not our fault that our cornerbacks know how to tackle.
Why do you think they lift
people hard?
Why do you think they lift so many weights, Mike? Why do you think they train so hard?
Yeah,
it's because it's a physical game, and you're gonna hit people, and you're gonna hit them hard, and they're gonna hit you back. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And speaking, this is going to tie in a little bit of what Jen said to Deshaun Elliott on Humphrey's podcast. I'll address her second comment quick, but yeah, he was saying how he came from Miami. He's like, there's a lot of soft players on that team. He's like, they're soft. And he's like, you come to Pittsburgh, you're like, there's no one soft on the Steelers roster. That's and he's like, and that goes to what we're talking about. These guys, some of them, they don't like to get hit. They don't want to get hit. Where you come play for the Steelers and Ravens, you want to hit. You want this. You love to play football that way. And like Jen, like Deshaun Elliott also, like he said, called out the Ravens brass. No one told him that they weren't going to re-sign him or anything. He's not happy. Patrick Queen's not happy with the way things ended with the Ravens. So I think those two are going to be fired up. You want to talk about guys ready to hit people? Deshaun Elliott from the beginning of the season has been killing people. Patrick Queen's waking up the second half of the season. So, this game's going to be a bloodbath. I can't wait.
Jedi!
And you just got to blitz Lamar Jackson. They're going to be ready for it because, Arthur Millette even said, that's what we did when I was on the Steelers and played Lamar, and that's what they've been doing. But, keep doing it. Until they prove they can stop it, and they haven't yet. So hell yeah!
You can't even still say Jen anymore. She's Jenny. Is that Forrest Gump? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, something. Forrest Gump.
Guys, this is the playoff picture right now as we speak, going into the last weekend. Of course, we kick off the weekend tonight on Thursday Night Football. The team that we just played, the Washington Commanders, are traveling to play the Philadelphia Eagles at 8:15 tonight to kick off the weekend, guys. Week 11, I believe this is. This is what the playoffs look like right now. If the playoffs started today, the Chiefs are the 1 seed. They would have the week off. The number 2 seed and number 7 seed would play, which would be the Broncos at the Bills. The Chargers would be playing at the Steelers, and the Ravens would be playing at the Houston Texans, guys. Of course, the Chiefs would get the lowest possible seed in the second round. In the NFC, she says, no Jenny, please. No with the Y. No Jenny. In the NFC, the Detroit Lions are the number 1 seed. They would have the week off. However, the Green Bay Packers would be traveling to Philadelphia to play. The Commanders would be traveling to the Atlanta Falcons, and the Vikings would be traveling to play the Cardinals. Like the Cardinals, of course, looking a little better than they usually do this season. Also, there's a handful of teams that we've played and we beat in the playoffs so far. The Broncos played them, beat them. The Chargers played them, beat them. The Commanders played them, beat them. The Falcons played them, beat them. We still also have the Eagles. We still have Buffalo. I'm not sorry, Buffalo, but Baltimore. Also, the Kansas City Chiefs. So everybody that's in the playoffs right now, we either beat or we're going to get ready to play this year.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, I'm looking, and nobody that's in the playoffs right now, out of all the teams that are in there, which are a bunch that we played, none of them beat us yet, Mike. None of these teams beat us.
No.
So
That's huge.
that is huge.
Yeah. And it's going to be a good stretch down the stretch coming up against these teams that are, we're going to play that potentially could be in the playoffs. Talk about being battle tested and ready come playoff time. If we come through this with a winning record, put us in a nice position for the playoffs. What team in the league is going to be more battle tested than the Steelers? We survived that gauntlet where the short amount of games, between what is like the Eagles, the Ravens, and the Chiefs in that order, somewhere in that, whatever that messed up 3 games and 12-day schedule that we have. You come through that 2-1, and then the rest of the schedule with a winning record sitting at the 3 or 4 seed, hopefully the 2. We are battle tested and ready to go.
I understand that the Browns, they have they have the Saints this week. So, they're only on a 3 game day off. So, we can sit here and complain all day that they screwed us in the schedule. The bottom line is you got to do what you got to do. They give you games, you play them. The Browns ain't sitting around complaining, saying, hey, we play this weekend, and in 3 days we play the Steelers. And I'm not even worried about that. I'm happy because I could watch 2 Steeler games in the time of 4 days. That works for me.
That's perfect for me.
Absolutely. So I do like that, and I'm not complaining at all. I'm looking forward to the game next Thursday as well against the Browns 1 week from tonight. So between now and this day next week, Mike, we're going to have 2 football games, 2 Steeler games. And again, of all the 1, 2, 3, 4, of the 8 teams right now out of the 12, and you can't include the Steelers, we beat everybody that they put us up against so far that are playoff teams, Mike. Again, we still have the Chiefs, we still have Baltimore, and we still have the Eagles. But right now, the other 4 teams that we've played already, we've already beat. And if they're the teams in the playoffs, I got to think that we have just as good a chances as anybody else.
Yeah.
I got to think.
Yeah, like everyone, like people on who we have remaining on our schedule, they really don't scare me anymore. Like, you respect them. You respect that if they win, it's going to be a close game. But they're like going in like, oh, we don't have a chance against anyone. Yeah, KC's starting to heat up, but guess what? So are we. Philly's starting to heat up. Guess what? So are we. So, yeah, no one scares me. No one scares me unless we keep getting catastrophic injuries. Ryan, your fault. But no,
Ryan.
Without injuries, no one scares us going down the stretch. I think we can find ways to beat any team in front of us right now.
A couple things here around the NFL, Mike, before we do move forward. We do have picks today, a few other things going on. Check this out. You want to talk about equal distributions here, running backs, how we have Jalen Warren and Najee. Listen to what they're doing over in Detroit. Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery both have 122 carries apiece. Can you evenly distribute more evenly than what they're doing in Detroit with these 2 guys? 122 carries apiece to the number.
I guarantee you that fucking psycho Dan Campbell
has
little clickers in his pocket that goes click, 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 click for each guy.
And guy's going to win that team a Super Bowl. You watch. I hope not this year. I hope not against us. But that guy's going to get them guys a Super Bowl. You watch.
My biggest fear with Dan Campbell, if I'm a Lions fan, is he likes to gamble, and in the big playoffs, they weren't working last year in the playoffs when he gambled on some of the tough
All
calls.
of our gambling always.
I know. No, I'm just saying. It's like, oh, regular season, his gambles paid off. It's like the magic runs out on the gambles in the playoffs. I hope for their sake it doesn't, because we know a couple Lions fans, and that's a team we've been talking about for years now. But you know what? They're another one of those organizations and teams, man. I'm not going to believe it until I see it happen.
Let me get you some, Mike. These are the NFL leaders. Let me get you some leaders. Then I want to address some messages on the board. I don't want to leave anybody hanging. And then we still do have picks. Mike, these are the leaders around the league, in case you're wondering. And the leading passer in the league at the moment is Joe Burrow with 2,672 yards. Most passing touchdowns in the league is Joe Burrow with 24. You think that these guys are good with these numbers, right?
That defense is trash, bro. I love it.
Completion percentage leader is Tua, 72.4 completion percentage. Rushing yards is Derrick Henry, 1,120 yards. Rushing touchdowns is Derrick Henry, 12 touchdowns on the ground. Reception leader is Jamar Chase with 66. Receiving yards is Jamar Chase with 981. Receiving touchdowns, Jamar Chase with 10 again. Everything so
No
far is down in the
defense.
AFC North except for Tua in his percentage. Tackles, Zaire Franklin has 105. He's on pace for 200 tackles, which I would think would have him in the race for Defensive Play of the Year, but they don't talk about that. Also, sacks, Mike, Trey Hendrickson has 11 from the Bengals.
Sexy Dexy, 9 as a nose guard. He should be leading the way for Defensive Player of the Year.
Kirby Joseph from the Detroit Lions leads in interceptions with 6. Austin Seibert. Hey, Yinzer Joe, what's up, brother? Austin Seibert has 25 made field goals, which leads the league this year. Longest field goal was Brandon Aubrey for the Dallas Cowboys. He had 65-yarder. Excuse me. And then the punt leader, average punt is A.J. Cole from the Raiders with 53.4 yards per punt. And that is what the leaderboard looks like all around the league. And it's all AFC North, basically.
I love it.
Absolutely, man. Let's get to some messages on the board, Mike. I do not want to leave anybody out. Let's see. Let's go back, and I'm just going to go right here. Jenny, she's cool being Jenny, just as long as there's no Y at the end.
So remember, everyone, when you say Jenny, make sure
Jenny
you have
with
the
an
I-E.
Yeah, Jenny with an I-E.
I'll start calling her
John
JJ.
says the Cardinals and the
TJ.
John says the Cardinals and the Chargers are both sneaky good right now. They're both sneaky. I agree. The Cardinals really snuck up on me. I didn't know.
They're 6-4 now.
Jeez. And in that division, they could win that division.
They can. Yeah, it's nuts.
Jenny with an IE. She says that physical football is amazing. Smash Mouth. Hell yeah. Jenny with an IE. I love it. Also, she says, I love how Najee gave Frazier the ball to Spike after the touchdown. They do have a strong brotherhood. I thought that was really awesome, too. Najee is always so awesome when he scores. Remember last year, I don't remember if it was him that scored, but remember against the Ravens, he ran out and grabbed a terrible towel, or what was it? Something went on. But Najee's it's always something with him when he scores, and it's always good.
I think it was a banner.
It was a Ravens something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but he did something.
Phil the Steel says, there you go, and that's what we went to see Sunday. The Steelers' offensive line, Harris, Ward, and Patterson just come out and pound Brock. No 3 and outs. John says Ben Johnson is a stud. Yinzer Joe says, how's it going, Yinzers? It's Ratberg's weekend. It sure is, baby.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is.
John says wins and losses. Ream, Stat, and Burrow proves that, yeah, right.
For what him and Chase are doing, I'll be beating the hell out of my defense week in, week out.
Phil Steele says, Ratbirds! And Jenny with an I and an E says, I agree, our guys are stoked, and I know the defense will be playing their asses off for Queen, Elliott, and Moon. And then a lot of I know.
Yeah,
I apologize, Ginger Joe. It's the weather right now here, and we're having a little bit of a
storm right by us, and it's just messing with our equipment.
It's driving me. The more I think about it, I don't even want to think about it. But I do apologize, guys. I want to throw that out there. We do.
Yeah, we thank you all for struggling and battling through and sticking
Yeah,
with us
we
today.
really
We
do.
appreciate it. You guys are troopers.
Yeah. Is it bad? I mean, can you hear us? I don't even know.
Is that the rain?
We got 10 minutes to go, Ryan. We got this, brother. We got this.
I know. It makes me
Yeah, I know.
nuts. It makes me nuts.
Eating up. It's eating at the back of my brain too. The minute we get off the air, I'm probably going to throw something against the wall. Derpy, come here,
guys. I'm gonna do real quick. Just go over these last couple of things, then we're gonna jump into the picks. Mike, the Penguins were back at it last night. They lose again, 3-2 in overtime. This time they lose to the Red Wings. The Penguins fall to 6-9-3 overall. They did sell. They bought. They traded Lars Eller away to the Washington Capitals for a 5th round pick in 2025 and a 3rd round pick in 2027. The Penguins will be back in action tomorrow against the Blue Jackets in Columbus at 7:00 p.m. Also, Mike, the Pittsburgh Pirates, they hire Matt Haig as their new hitting coach. Matt Haig was a 2008 draft pick by the Pirates.
But
Why would you bring in somebody who played for the Pirates to be your hitting coach? A team that doesn't hit good, you bring in one of those players to come back and teach your other guys how to hit.
where he won as a hitting coach before this, they were like top 5 in hitting. So that gives me a little bit of hope.
No, don't have hope. It's because
This guy gives me a little bit of hope.
they probably had
A
good
little bit.
players or better players. Where was he?
Toronto.
I would put no faith in this guy, Mike. I would put no faith in this guy. Again, he was a terrible hitter as a Pirate. Why would you bring him as a hitting coach?
Hey,
To save money.
he's cheap. He works cheap. That's
why.
why.
Derpy, be quiet. Say
John,
something, Derpy. Yeah,
John,
Derpy, say something. I want to pinch Derpy. Make sure he's alive.
Mike is bald.
All right, he's alive. All right, guys, let's jump over into the picks for the week.
John, you misspelled Mike at the end of your thing.
What's
Love
up?
you guys. It's Mike. He said, love you guys. It should be love Mike. You misspelled Mike wrong.
Are you saying
I was
that John
making a
might
joke.
be? You
Yeah,
saying
that was
that John might be homosexual? Is that what you're referring to?
No, his thing said, but we love you guys. And it's like you misspelled Mike. It's supposed to be we love Mike. We love
Well,
Mike.
that would make it gay if you just said I love you, Mike.
No, he said we.
Mike,
as
do
a
you have-
collective.
Well, yeah, but you're saying Mike, you wacko, you weird.
Yeah,
dog.
his message to say Ryan, yes, it is ass, but we love Mike. I'm trying to give you shit.
All right, let's get into these picks. I just lost a million brain cells talking to
Me
Mike.
too, dude. I had a shitty nap before, and I had 3 cups of coffee. My
All right,
brain's all
listen,
messed up.
let's do these picks, Mike. I can't take it anymore with you.
All right, let's do this.
Tonight, the Commanders at the Eagles. Derpy, you won again, so you pick who's going to go first this week. Derpy, who picks first? Is it going to be you or is it going to be Mike?
I'm gonna kick it away.
All right,
Oh,
DeFern,
with the ball, we go score.
Mike, Commanders at the Eagles. Who do you like?
Oh, give me the Eagles, baby. Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Hurts got it rolling right now.
The Eagles, all right.
Yep.
Derpy, over to you. Commanders at the
Eagles.
Eagles. Who do you like? Eagles?
Yep.
Interesting. All right, Mike, the Raiders at the Dolphins. The Raiders at the Dolphins. This is the first game on Sunday. Raiders at
Dolphins. Dolphins are starting to not roll a little bit. They're playing better.
Derpy, Raiders at Dolphins.
The Dolphins, the Raiders just suck.
All right. Mike, back to you. The Browns at the Saints. The Browns at the Saints.
Oh my God.
They both suck.
They do both. So this is a tough one. Give me the Saints since it's a home game.
Saints?
Yeah.
I know that wasn't at you, John. It was more of a crack at Mike because he's just bothering me today. That's all.
I know.
He's bothering me. Derpy, Browns at the Saints. Browns at the Saints.
The Saints.
All right. I do like that though. He pulls more ass than Juan Valdez.
I like this. Ask Derpy anything.
Yeah. I'll address that in a moment.
Yeah.
Next game, Mike, the Colts at the Jets. Colts at the Jets.
Oh, Jesus God, You know what? Anthony Richardson is back. Screw
Yeah.
the Permane Rotors. I'm riding with the Colts and Anthony Richardson this week. It's the worst pick to make it. I'm making it. This is how you make a comeback. Go off
Derpy.
the board.
Colts at the Jets.
Colts.
Derby, that could have been your chance, man. Take the Jets. You could have flipped the script right there, baby. Could have flipped field position.
No, I'm good.
Mike, the
All right,
Vikings at the Titans. Vikings at Titans.
Oh, you give me the Vikings. Titans are starting to fall apart internally.
You say the Titans?
Vikings. Titans are starting to fall apart internally.
Derpy, the Vikings at the Titans.
Vikings.
All right. Mike, back to you. The Packers at the Bears. The Packers.
Oh, the Packers
At the
all
Bears.
day. All day. All day. The Bears are, you want to talk about a team that's falling apart. Their coaching is terrible.
Derpy, Packers at Bears.
Not much of a difference, huh, Bears fans? Give me the Packers.
All right. Next game, Mike. The Jaguars at the Lions.
Oh, Lions. Lions all day, every day.
Derpy, the Jaguars at the Lions.
Why are even the Jags of organization? Give me the Lions.
All right. Mike, the Rams at the Patriots.
Give me. Give me the Rams. Give me the Rams. I was going to say Patriots, but no, give me the Rams.
Derpy, the Patriots will be hosting the Rams. Who do you like, the Rams or the Patriots?
Give me the Rams.
All right. Mike, Seattle at San Francisco.
Give
That's
me
a tough one.
Seattle. Give me Seattle. When you got Debo Samuels trying to choke out the kicker and the long snapper, things are not going well out in San Francisco.
Derpy, the Seahawks at the 49ers.
Give me Seattle.
Mike, the Falcons at the Broncos. First two games the Steelers played this year.
Ooh. That's a good matchup.
Yeah, that is. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I like their defense more than Atlanta's defense. I think they'll be able to make a stop.
Derby, the Falcons at the Broncos.
Broncos.
See, that's the thing. When Derpy gets a win, he takes control of the whole situation.
Yeah, he just follows me. Whatever I do.
He has a strategy. You know,
I know his
working.
strategy.
It's working. The dude is way out ahead, guys. Next game. The Chiefs at the Bills. The Chiefs at the Bills. Mike.
Ooh. You know you want to
Give
say
me-
it.
Give me Buffalo. Give me Buffalo.
Derby, the Chiefs at the Bills.
As the leader of the Taylor Swift fan club, I cannot deny or go against the Chiefs, so give me the Chiefs.
Interesting. Imagine being the one team you hope you root for to win all weekend is the Chiefs. You know, I mean, he's doing it strategically, but I couldn't imagine sitting around hoping for the Chiefs to win all weekend.
I could. That's easy money right there, man.
I can't root. It'd be like rooting for the Patriots for me back in the day.
Nah.
How is it not? They win every game. They're on the.
Yeah, but
Don't you want them to lose, Mike?
Andy Reid's not insufferable. He's a fellow fat guy, so you know.
Yeah. Next game. The Bengals at the Chargers. Bengals at the Chargers, Mike.
Oh God. I'm gonna take the Bengals because I don't think the Chargers have enough offense to exploit
That's
that.
a good defense versus a very good offense. I mean,
Yeah, but
two teams that are totally missing half of the, one team doesn't have one team doesn't have the other, one team's really good, and the other team's really good at the other. So
you give Cincy the Chargers defense. The Cincinnati might be one of the deadliest teams in the league, but I'm taking. Yeah, they can score points, so I'm taking them.
Derpy, over to you. The Bengals at the Chargers.
These teams stink. Give me the Bungles.
Derpy's like,
All
I'm
right.
rooting for a meteor to strike the stadium.
How about the Texans at the Cowboys, Mike? The Texans at the Cowboys.
Ooh, wow. Texans kind of fell off this year, but my God, you gotta beat the Cowboys at Jerry World. Show some self-respect, CJ Stroud. Give me the Texans.
And Derpy, the Texans at the Cowboys.
Give me the Texans because, one, CJ Stroud. Two, because the Cowboys looked awful against, who they play last week?
I don't recall.
I can't remember,
But
but
they
yeah, they
just
look
looked
bad.
awful. They just looked awful. So give me the Texans.
All right, guys. So that brings us back to the last game of the. It's not the last game. It's a 1:00 game, but the last game for us to pick. The Ravens at the Steelers. Mike, I need your pick, and I also need a score so we can figure out your tiebreaker. Ravens at Steelers. Mike, what do you think?
Give me your Pittsburgh Steelers 32-17.
All right. Sounds good. So that is a Steelers win 50. What is 32 and 17? 49. 49 points. Derpy, I'm going to come over to you on this one. The Ravens at the Steelers.
Give me the... Ooh. Because I'm trying to win here.
Yeah.
I know. I can tell.
I see what his strategy is, too. I like it. I mean, it's interesting.
It's blatant.
Again,
it's transparent as a motherfucker.
Again, I wouldn't want to sit around rooting for the Chiefs all weekend, but hey, if it's gonna work, it's gonna work. Derpy is way out ahead. Derpy, who do you like? Ravens at the Steelers.
Give me this Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right. And what do you think for the score?
One less point than what Mike had.
$31-28.
Ooh,
28.
He saw Steeler Freaks 30-28, so Derpy was like, I'm gonna go 31-28.
I take that back. Give me the 30-28.
No, too late.
Mike at the 30-28.
Yeah.
All right, so that's a total of 58 points. So there we go. We are set, guys. Everybody is in place. Everybody got their picks in. They got their tiebreakers. Let me get a couple of these on the board real quick, Mike. John says Steelers with a Minka pick 6, 30-28. Field of Steel says Steelers 23, the Ratbirds 13. Also, Jen asks Derpy if he folds his pizza. I don't know what that's about, but it sounds
Derpy has a couple questions he needs to field from the audience on
absolutely
anything.
Hold on one second. We'll get to that in just a second. Derpy's your okay. You got that.
Yeah.
Derpy, these are some pretty mild questions. So I'm gonna turn this over to you here just shortly.
Okay.
What's that?
I said
okay.
Mike? I've seen them.
No, you're not Mike. Mike.
No. I got the questions all lined up. I know where they are. So whenever we're ready, I can pop them up on the board.
Okay, hold on one second. I just do want to say this. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Again, that was not a stab. It was a stab at Mike. Derpy also is recovering from the neuter surgery. Derpy's either got spayed or neutered. We don't know which one yet. We're trying to figure that out. And here we go, Mike. Let's jump into these questions. Derpy, This is a mild round of Ask Derpy Anything. Here we go. First one, Mike, pull up John's. Jen, okay. Derpy, what emojis best represent you today and why? What emojis best represent you today and why? We really should have started this segment about 20 minutes earlier.
We should have, but I don't give a frick.
Is there an emoji for sneezing?
Yeah, all right. The sneezing emoji. That's the Emoji Derpy is
Yes,
represented
I've
most
been
by
sneaking
today.
today. So.
I'm going with these two that I just threw up here. You'll see them when they come up.
We are waiting for
They're
Mike's
the puppy dog eyes and the dog emoji.
All right, I don't know, Mike. What are you talking about?
Never mind. It's over on the YouTube. It was all right. Next one, Derpy. Derpy, do you fold your pizza?
No.
You know what I do?
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do that little fold over.
Yeah, you gotta fold it.
You fold it in a little boat.
Well, otherwise, the cheese grease gets all over your face. You gotta.
Derpy's feral. Apparently, he's like shoves it in there. I like it. I like it.
Let's see what else. Derpy, is your favorite movie Lady and the Tramp?
Derpy?
No.
Okay.
What is your favorite movie? What is your favorite movie? Follow up.
Anything Star Wars besides the sequels?
Okay.
Jesus, Jen.
Let's see what else. Phil the Steel says. All right, we're getting there, Mike.
I'm sorry. Nope, I had to.
Derpy, Jimmy hat or no Jimmy hat? Phil the Steel wants to know.
What's that?
Yeah.
Next question. Derpy. John says, Derpy, can I date? Can't I date your hot aunt? Can I date your hot aunt?
Why can't I? Why can't I date your hot aunt?
Derpy, why can't I date your hot aunt?
I'm gonna deny that question.
Okay.
And then you know what? Maybe this emoji might right here represent Derpy.
The eggplant.
Low key big hog. Now look, Derpy. They're even Jen says thanks. You know.
There you go.
You're welcome, Jen.
We love you, Derpy. You're a good sport.
It's like pulling teeth.
It's
like pulling teeth, but we got it out of them.
Oh my god, it's fun. I love it.
Derpy's emoji that represents him as an eggplant. Do you have a hot aunt, Derpy?
Do you
have a hot aunt?
Yeah, we all want to know.
I'm not going to answer that question.
All right.
The silence is. I'm going to go with yes. And Derpy's keeping her away from us heathens.
So there you go, guys. We have to work on Ask Derpy Anything, because Derpy has guidelines. Believe it or not, we have guidelines we have to work with Derpy.
Morals and standards that Ryan and I and the rest of us do not have. That's what makes Derpy special.
We're working on it, I promise. Also, I do want to say again, I apologize about the sound on today's show.
Yes,
everybody.
Yes.
Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website, man?
Website and a special announcement at the end. Yes, the Two Dumb Yinzers. Go over there and check it out, everyone, please. If you head on over there, you got all of our links to all of our social media and more over there, like the merch store and the blog. Dumb Thoughts by the one and only Big Sexy. Check it out at the2dumbyinzers.com. Over to you, Derpy.
Dang it.
He doesn't have his script in front of him.
He doesn't. He's like trying to scrub his social media of his hot aunt so we don't find her.
Just ad lib, Derpy. Just say what you think it's supposed to be.
If you're new to the Two Dumb Yinzers show, be sure to subscribe below and pound that like button. Boom.
Boom.
Pound the like button. Boom. Look, Phil the Steel got you. He got the boom going, baby.
All right, guys. Question of the day. Of course, the question of the day on the show is the team that the Steelers play. That's who the question of the day is going to be about, guys. This is a Ravens trivia question. Here we go. Mike, Derpy, put on your thinking hats, guys, on the board. People at home. Here we go. This is a question about the Ravens. Who was the first ever player drafted by the Baltimore Ravens? Remember, they were an expansion team. And they weren't an expansion team.
No, they weren't. No.
But who was their first pick when they were the Ravens? The Browns left town, went to Baltimore. Who was that first draft pick?
Oh, wow. Wow.
The Browns were the expansion team.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day right here on YouTube. All right, guys. Question of the day is: who was the first player ever drafted by the Baltimore Ravens? Not the Browns. I'm looking for a 1996 draft pick. Who was the first player that was drafted by the Ravens? All right, Mike, I'm going to come to you first. Who do you think was the first player that was ever drafted by the Baltimore Ravens?
Yeah, there's a lot of people going through my mind right now. Kringleberry. God, I can't remember the order guys were drafted in. I don't know if he was a Brown. I'm going to go Jonathan Ogden.
Sean Ogden. Is that your final answer?
Yeah. Let's be Ray Lewis. Pissed.
All right, you're locked in. Derpy. Who was the first player ever drafted by the Baltimore Ravens? Jenny with an I and an E says no clue. What do you think?
I'm deciding between two players.
Do I hear a mouse clicking?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, okay. Who are you deciding to think it out loud, Derby? Let's think about this. Who do you think it is?
Give me Ed Reed.
Ed Reed. Good pick. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right. All right, guys. Question of the day. Who was the first player ever drafted by the Baltimore Ravens? Mike says John Ogden. Derpy says Ed Reed. The answer is John Ogden. Left tackle. Tree of a man. Left tackle. Jonathan Ogden was the very first ever player drafted by the Ravens back in 1996.
Yeah, John Ogden, when people say natural left tackle, picture John Ogden.
Yeah.
You're not getting around that mountain.
For sure. Mike, anything if we start getting ready to wrap it up, man?
Yes, everyone. On a suggestion from Finch, he sent it over to me. It said, you guys should start a Discord that way we can all stay connected when we're off air, like the entire community. So if you head on over to Discord, I got the link in there throughout the chat. Click it. Sends you over to the Two Dumb Users Discord server. I'm still learning what Discord actually is, what we can do on there. Think if you're a Gen X, older millennial, chat rooms from the or late 90s, early 2000s, but on steroids and so much better. There's places where you can go and you can talk to each other. There's places where just chat and just hang out, talk all things Steelers. Check it out over at Discord. The link's below. Check it out, guys. It's free to use.
There you go. Everybody go check it out. My thing is this. Mike Tyson fights tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow night. Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. And I was just going to say, before everybody took off, does anybody remember from back in the day, and I mean like 1989-ish, that song, I Think I Could Beat Mike Tyson by Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff? If you haven't, it was one of my favorites as a kid. It's actually really funny, and it's actually what I think of when I think of Jake Paul getting ready to take on Mike Tyson. So in your own time, if you think about it, check it out. It's called I Think I Could Beat Mike Tyson by Will Smith. It's kind of got a catchy thing going on. Check it out, because again, tomorrow, Jake Paul, Mike Tyson on Netflix. I can't wait to watch this. That's my thing. Derpy, anything before we get ready to take off, man?
Two things.
Yeah.
Mike is still very bald.
And beautiful.
And secondly, we are from well, how does it go again?
Oh, Derpy, you fumbled.
I did fumble. We're from the town with the great football team. We cheer the Pittsburgh Steelers.
There you go, Derpy. You salvaged it at the end.
Anytime my little Derpy sings, it's like an angel.
I was about to say, an angel has kissed my ears.
Angel of death.
Right.
I do want to say thank you to everybody. Also, I do want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We really do. We honestly do. We couldn't do it without you. I want to say thank you for putting up with the issues we are having today. We do apologize. You could tell by the look on Mike's ginormous head right now that he is also feeling bad about it as well. And Derpy, we all as a group do, and hopefully it gets all figured out by tomorrow. But I do thank you so much for hanging in there with us today. We do appreciate you guys.
Yes, we
I
appreciate
want
it.
to thank everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting here on the show. Everybody at home. Again, thank you, and we apologize about that.
Yeah.
Certainly out of our control. We wouldn't have it sounding like that if we could fix it. Believe me. Anybody else? Anybody got anything before we take off for today?
I got nothing, man. Thank you all. We really do appreciate it. And please just swing by the new Discord if you want. Check it out. No pressure.
So what is it, Mike? It's like a chat room.
It's like a big time chat room. Yeah, there's like different topics, like rooms on the side you go in. I have one for just memes, one for general talk, one for ideas about the show. If you guys have a suggestion or a thought, you can throw it over in there. I got places where people can you can call and talk to each other if people are hanging out watching the game.
Sounds excessive.
Yeah, like you don't have to do it over there, man. There's a bunch of stuff over there to keep the community engaged. And,
all right.
People they chat amongst the boards and they want to keep the conversation going after the
we
over
get
there.
it.
Yeah,
we totally get
yeah,
what you're saying.
Yeah. Hey, I put a lot of time and hours into that, like 2.
So there you go. Go check it out, everybody.
Check it out.
Again, the Thursday night football game tonight is the Commanders at the Eagles. Get a chance to look at who we played last week against who we are going to be playing in a few weeks with the Eagles. That is at 8:15. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow first thing to talk about that and to get ready to head into the weekend. We have the Ravens. We have the Steelers. A lot of college. There's Tyson and Paul tomorrow night. Going to be a lot of things to talk about tomorrow, so it'll be a big show, guys. We hope that you do join us. Again, thank you so much for hanging in there with us today.
Yes.
Very grateful. Thank you so much. We do apologize. Everybody have a great day. Watch some big game tonight. I can't wait, Mike. Some NFL. And then
football,
we'll
baby.
be back again tomorrow. First thing to go over everything heading into the weekend. So for Derpy, for Mike at the Steeler Central Mobile Studio, myself, the Two Dumb Yinzers, everybody have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.